Yeah, I ain't got no shirt on. It's friggin' hot tonight. You southern dwellers would be all bundled up like it was, New Year's. But it's friggin' hot. Anyway, here's something I've heard from people before. I ain't gonna get no friggin' ham radio license. I'll just use it if I need it. Sure you will. Number one, nose itches. Just got done sanding some sheetrock. Number one, it's illegal. It's called bootlegging. Violation of federal law. Number two, you're gonna piss off a bunch of ham operators. Number three, if you think, well, when everything crashes and burns, the rules don't matter anymore, I can do whatever I want, you're still gonna piss off a bunch of ham operators. Number four, if you have no idea how ham radio works, you think you're just gonna figure it out all of a sudden? Let me show you something. Many years ago, I heard a guy on the radio, obviously bootlegging. Any ham operator knows that NCYY2 is a BS call sign. So you get yourself a ham radio that you're gonna use. Well, it's got a bunch of numbers on it. What do those numbers mean? What does plus mean? What does T mean? Yeah, you can change the numbers. Now the plus went away. Eventually that will change to a minus. Well, what do you do with this thing? So when I start talking about offset, PL tone, you get any idea what I'm talking about? Do you know how to hook an antenna up to this thing correctly? The correct antenna that's tuned right so you're not going to smoke the radio? You don't just hook up an antenna that screws into the connector and call it good. Nope, doesn't work that easy. Oh, cool, here's a super ham radio. It's got over 400 channels in it. Well, nothing super about it. Any idea how to use it? Now we get to the fun stuff. What's this rig? What does this do? Now we're down in shortwave. Any idea what all these numbers are? What does USB mean? What's LSB mean? Look, you can change it. You get AM, get FM, that's a lock, CW. Gee, this thing has all kinds of things it'll do. Well, what's all these knobbers and gazebos over here? I mean, well, they don't seem to do anything, but oh, look at that, that does something. Huh. Cool. Yeah, I know how to use that. I just turn around, pick a number, and start talking. Nope. Doesn't work like that. And again, with these, you don't just screw in an antenna because it fits in the connector and start talking. Not that easy. What do these switches do? Knobs. You got something that says mic, RF power, AF, squelch. There's more buttons up here, ATT, NB. Yeah. Now let me show you this. Here's all the ham radio bands in the United States. Yeah. Ham people know how to interpret that. Well, green. Green means you can talk on a telephone, I guess. So anywhere where it says green, you need to have a telephone. Well, the yellow, what's the yellow mean? There's a yellow block. It says SSB phone. Super big phone. Is that what that means up there? You could have a super big phone. And the blue. What's a USB phone? Oh, you gotta have a USB phone. It plugs into a USB port. That must be what that is. I don't care. I'm just gonna talk wherever I want. Yep, that's a good way to irritate ham operators. And if they find you, well, you might be losing some gear, and if it's the wrong type of ham operators, you might be losing other things. Now, there's a lot of ham operators out there who invest their own time, effort, and money into putting repeater stations on the air, putting satellites in orbit, keeping ham radio alive and going. And the last types of people they want to be dealing with are people using radios illegally. It's kind of like poaching, you know? People that pay for licenses to go fishing, hunting, especially commercial guys. Some of the last people they want to cross paths with are people who are doing it illegally to make a buck. Same concept, right? So like most things, operating a radio is a skill set. If you've never been trained and have no idea how to start an IV, when somebody needs an IV, you're not going to figure it out on the spot. If you have no training on how to perform surgery, when somebody's laying on the ground in front of you and needs surgery, you're not going to have an epiphany and go, oh, I know how to do this surgery and I'm going to save this person's life. Nope. If you're not proficient with firearms and dealing with operating under stress, when that time comes and it's a determination of you or them and fight, flight, or freeze up, well, maybe you'll fight, probably not. Maybe you can run away, or you could just lock up and get killed. So, if you're not proficient, you're not going to rise to the occasion and figure it out. Same with radio. So if you have no idea what you're doing, when you need to use it, you're not going to turn it on and figure out, oh, here's how to program repeaters. Here's how to put in PL tones. Here's how to put the offsets in correctly. Then when we get on HF, oh, well, here's how to make sure my antenna's tuned. Well, same up on VHF, UHF too. Make sure your system's running right. And then down on HF, which is a little more touchy, you're not going to be figuring out, oh yeah, well, I know how to build a dipole. Yep, I know how to use a tuner. Yep, I know how to make sure all this is working. And I have no idea how the hell to use it. Right. Now, the time to figure out stuff is now, not when you need it.